It is 2026 and blackness is no longer beneficial. And I know that sounds terrible coming out of a white woman's mouth, but hear me out. Hear me out before you click off my video. Celebrities are using black culture and aesthetics to get ahead in their career or even jumpstart it before throwing it all away once they are rich and famous. Some even go as far as shit talking on that same black culture that got them to where they are. My name is Soko and I got time, so let's talk about it. Welcome back to another video, and you may be asking, why is a white girl talking about this? But it is my fellow white women who are committing this atrocity, and as the head white woman, I'm calling a meeting. And I've never actually seen a white person talk about this before, so maybe I should have just taken the hint and not made this video, but we are already here. We are a minute in, and I'm going to continue. I am not trying to push any boundaries or white knight in this video. This is just my own opinions and bias that I've been wanting to talk about for a while now. If you want to add anything, you're always free to comment. Go ahead, boost my video. But for now, let me get into my thoughts. K-pop, white rappers, Kid Rock, people have been using black culture for a while to get ahead. And while many of them do acknowledge that black culture they have stolen, many of them just throw it away and even go on to mock it in the future. A culture vulture is defined as someone who adopts and profits from the cultural practices of a minority group without contributing to or appreciating the source claim. I really think when people hear culture vultures, they think of the Kardashians. That's what I hear the most. Kim, Khloe, and Kylie are the ones of the sisters who do take the most cornrows after cornrows, braid after braid, big lips, bigger bodies to mimic black women. Khloe would even drop the N-word casually on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and Kim and Kris Jenner do not bat an eye because she drops it talking about how much she loves black. The Kardashians have taken everything from black women, including the black men. Throughout the years, every single Kardashian Jenner has been rotating through black men other than Kourtney. There's nothing odd about a white woman dating a black guy, and there's nothing wrong with it either, obviously. But if every single one of your siblings and your mother is doing it, that's when it gets weird, especially considering the blackfishing history in that family. And I see a lot of Kardashian fans, which is crazy that they even have fans, say that it's racist to say that they fetishize black men, because if they were constantly with white guys, no one would bat their eyes. Any other woman with a black man is not going to get these accusations unless they are blackfishing and pretending to be a black woman. And 4 out of 5 of the Kardashian Jenner siblings have mixed kids. Kylie and Kendall even posted a video where the darker the guy was, the more they were sexually interested in him. But now it seems like the Kardashians are pushing away black culture as a whole. They changed the whole brand and body. All the Kardashian Jenners that are dating, with the exception of Kris, are now with white men, and they are in their clean girl era. They're not doing braids anymore. They're not doing cornrows. Kim and Khloe got rid of their BBL, and Kylie Jenner lost a lot of weight and also got rid of a little bit of her BBL. Like everyone I will be talking about today, the Kardashians used black culture to get ahead in their careers, to be talked about, before they threw it away when it was no longer trendy. The next person I want to talk about today, someone that no one really ever talks about in videos like this, is Ariana Grande. At the peak of her career, she was basically cosplaying as a black woman. She had a tan that was so dark in color that when she would stand next to Nicki Minaj, a black woman, they were the same shade. Her fans would defend her, saying that was just natural because she was Italian. That was an obvious spray tan. She would also use a black scent. I want to get into this some later when I talk about Daniel Virgoli, aka Bad Baby. I'm sure This My Juice, This My Cookie keeps Ariana Grande awake constantly when she's laying next to whatever guy she has stolen this year. And we all see the Ariana Grande today. She is not tan. She does not speak in an accent. She is very pale and soft-spoken. She speaks in a dainty voice. She's constantly crying. She now is crying and soft, while before she was sassy and bitchy. She has associated that spray tan to that personality and blackness in general. She wanted to give the sassy black woman trope without actually facing any of the consequences of being black. Because she's not a black woman, she's a very pale white woman who shedded that alter ego as soon as she wanted to get somewhere. She started this change where she wanted to be taken seriously as an actress and not just a singer or a Nickelodeon star. Ariana Grande would have never ever gotten the role of Glinda if she was still talking like that and badly rapping about how her and her man at the time had that hood love. Miley Cyrus is another big culture vulture. When she was trying to break away from the Disney archetype, she started using black culture. She would start rapping, she'd get on tracks, sexualizing herself. She was twerking, she was doing all this stuff. And then she went back to her country roots and got on an interview talking about how hip hop is just sexualizing women and all this stuff. Nobody made her twerk on Robin Thicke. Nobody made her swing naked on a wrecking ball. I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. That's all I gotta say about Miley Cyrus. On to the next one. Danielle Bregoli, aka Bad Baby. And I included her on this list even though she doesn't really apply to what I'm talking about. Yes, Danielle Bregoli blackfishes and she uses AIDS. That is actually how she blew up. Catch Me Outside, how about that? That's why she got famous. But unlike the other people on this list, she uses Ave and steals more and more from black culture the more irrelevant she becomes. I mentioned the black scent earlier with Ariana Grande, but I think it applies more for Danny Bregoli. And I want to talk about how this thing white people do when you mention talking black or acting black. They try to make you seem racist by saying, oh, you can't act black, you can't talk black. But that's not true. Danny Bregoli speaks in slang that was specifically created by black people. Acting dense like you don't know what or how black people talk by using Ave just makes you sound stupid. And she resembles a black woman. At least she tries to resemble a black woman. Mixed. Because if you go to her photos on Instagram, she filters her face to make herself look like a mixed woman. It does not even look like Danielle Bregoli anymore. I included her solely in this because while she steals from black culture, she won't admit it. She likes to act like people are fucking stupid and can't see that she is a white lady who wants to be black, even though she had this stupid "who wants to be black" comment. You do. You obviously do. The last person I want to talk about on this list is Post Malone. I noticed the lack of men on this list, but I'm not misogynistic, I swear. I just don't keep up with men. Y'all bore me. Post Malone had came into his career as a rapper. He had face tattoos and braids. He made hip-hop music, even if you might consider him pop. He then pulled a Miley Cyrus and switched genres to country before dissing hip-hop. He claims hip-hop has no substance. Post Malone said, if you're looking to think about life, don't listen to hip-hop. End quote. Not only did Post Malone say that, but he has been trying to distance himself from being called a rapper. Despite starting off as a rapper, he did not want that title. Early in his career, when White Iverson dropped, in interviews, he would talk in an accent how he thought rappers should sound because he sounds nothing like that now. When I was researching this video, aka just looking on Reddit, a lot of people seem to defend Post Malone and not think he was a culture vulture, which doesn't surprise me because it was on the hip-hop subreddit, which is filled with white people who love Post Malone. It's the same subreddit who was calling Drake a culture vulture over the Kendrick beef. So if Drake is a culture vulture, to you guys, Post Malone's a culture vulture, just saying. I am sure there are other celebrities who have used black culture to get ahead, and maybe one day I will talk about them, but for now, I have to go because my baby is talking in the background and he wants his mother's attention. So, thank you for listening to me yap. As always, I hope you have a good rest of your day and feel free to like or even subscribe.